Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 5th of November. So it's been a week of surprises. Are we going to get another one today? Certainly yesterday the Bank of England was expected to increase the interest rate by 0.15 basis points. That didn't happen, and it's looking like it's not going to happen this year from the tone of the Bank of England Governor Bailey there. So yet another surprise. We had the soft event with the Reserve Bank of Australia earlier in the week. Last week we had the ECB backing down on statements, and of course Bailey yesterday. Non-farms, are we going to get another surprise? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But news-wise today, we are just sitting there waiting for the non-farm payrolls at 12:30, so it's earlier today. So 12:30 for non-farm payrolls. We'll see if we can do anything with that later in the trading room, but that's the main risk event today. Right, let's have a look at the technicals. Start off looking at the markets, the currency markets here, and euro dollar. Well, yesterday it's run back into this area, which seems to have a bit of support at the moment. The 15.28 sort of. Why 15.28? It's not really overly clear. I was looking at this yesterday, and it's the side of the 200 around this area, and the prior lows. It's not the most obvious point of support, but there we are. It's sitting there at this stage as support. Looking at these markets, and there's no, maybe one, if it hits the daily pivot and the 34, that'll be a sufficient. I could be looking, depending on the time really. I think this is a case of let's wait and see what the non-farms brings us, but maybe a break into that pivot and a break of this little trend line down here may give an entry for some downside. It has been tapping along these lows. Perhaps that next time it will break through. So that's the euro. Pretty unclear. The pound, well, no surprise to see a strong sell-off on the surprise there yesterday. It's they tell these central bankers, they say they don't want to surprise the markets, and yet a week or two earlier, I think it was, Bailey was suggesting that a 0.15% interest rate, or an interest rate increase, was on the books this year, and then all of a sudden it was sort of zipped away, and it did surprise the market. So anyway, I didn't care. Obviously taking out the lows there yesterday, today consolidating. I think it's going to be a toughie because it moved so much yesterday. It's probably done most of its correction for now, and certainly from looking at this, maybe it'll track up at some stage towards the daily pivot, but it's got a reasonable probability of that daily pivot being hit. But after such an event, it could be just consolidating around these lows here before it rolls back again. But nothing obvious there for me. Dollar yen, well, chopping is the answer here, and it's just continuing to chop. There's little to be done here on the lower time frames when it's doing this. Some people may try and trade the ranges, but even they become smaller, and eventually they'll throw us out. So I'll stick clear of that at the moment. It's I expect it to continue ranging for now. Obviously non-farmers might see something different. Aussie dollar still soft here. Yesterday bearish engulfing bar there, or continuation bar. Looks like we could have further downside. Just looking at this, it just may to say push on further. Lower highs coming through here. It does just look a bit on the soft side at the moment, and I can't see anything that I'm looking at. Maybe it'll break down, but I think again non-farms would be the sort of sensible waiting point for any of these markets to be traded. Canadian dollar, we've seen this pushing up to its monthly pivot yesterday eventually. it's hanging around that area at the moment. This was one of the markets I thought would be a bit stronger and we'd see something more developed from this. Still, my trend line sitting in from yesterday there, and well, it's far from it at the moment. It looks like at this stage it's trying to break out, knocking on that monthly pivot, and it just looks like it could look to push on through at this stage, and the dollar strength just continues. Right, cross pairs, there's little here to be for me at the moment. I'll obviously talk to our day traders in a moment, but there's little else to be done here. In the euro yen, really really heading south yesterday. It's trying to turn the corner. Maybe it'll catch a bit more of a bounce. Yeah, nothing there for me at this stage either. So it really is on the currency market. It's a bit of wait and see. Gold, well, gold got a decent retracement yesterday from that sell-off we saw coming through via the Fed. It's half decent. I'll come back to the dailies actually here, and you just sort of see what's happening. It's back within a sort of a certain range. It looks like, if anything, it could push back up a little bit more, maybe be a bit more favoured. I was watching this and silver, and they were both, well, silver was really coming off at some rate, but that too has found some decent support down there and bounced off it. Again, looking mildly bullish at the moment. On the oil market, get to the oil market. So another sell-off here yesterday, and quite a strong sell-off through the afternoon. We've possibly might get a bit more correction to the downside now, and I might start looking for the shorts now that we're seeing this sort of a bit bigger trend here, and we'll have to tread carefully, maybe into next week. But at the moment, for me, looks like post 2 o'clock I'll be looking more towards the short side. Okay, that's those markets. Let's just have a look. Come over here, we'll look at the indices overnight. Not a great deal happening with the CSI 300 there, just staying in its range, and we're seeing the gaps closing on the Nikkei 225 index here. The gap closings coming off FTSE this morning. We haven't opened yet, so I can't talk about that for a moment. DAX, let's check, that is today, 5th November. It is Friday, 5th of November. Coming off at the moment, selling off at this stage. It's maybe a start of, we'll see more of. Let's just have a look at, and yet another new high yesterday on the S&Ps. I don't see this really stopping at the moment. Maybe today could be a slight difference, but the more these central banks are kicking the can down the street, the more we're seeing a continuation. Okay, we've got the FTSE, should be open now, just coming back a little bit at the moment, then just selling off a little bit, as with the DAX there, and we might see the CAC there coming in, just coming off a little bit. But again, yesterday with the CAC making another new high there. So bullish at the moment for the equity markets. The cryptos, let's have a quick look through here. And well, consolidation continuing here, a bit more bullish this morning so far on Bitcoin, Ethereum. Yep, same sort of thing. Just Ethereum, it just sort of, I think there's been buying on the dips going on here. Ripple slowing down, consolidating a little bit here at this stage as well. So for a couple of days at least, or a day and a bit. So we'll see how it goes. But they do, for me, I think there's just consolidation for at the moment on the bigger picture. Looks like we've got further upside in those markets. Right, that's it for me. As I say, non-farms this afternoon is the biggie. I wish you a great weekend, and I will catch you next Monday. Take care. Bye for now. There we go. Job done.